Alright, we're back in the finishing up this Nightmares on Wax record. It's been fantastic so far. Really enjoyed it. It's been a trip, but definitely excited to finish it out. So, before we get started, we first obviously have to do our ranking system. Tonight's ranking system is as follows. If I like a song, I will be giving it the golden playing cards. This is the highest you can go. Once you ascend to this point, there's no coming back. If I think a song is just okay, you will be getting the Captain America Funko Pop. Now, as I've explained previously, this is because Captain America pretty much epitomizes the mids of superheroes. It's capitalism, and we're anti-capitalism on this channel. And pretty much everything about him is mid, except for the fact that he has pretty strong superpowers. So he's not all bad. He's going to be our kind of shrug category right in the middle. Finally, we have, if I don't like a song, it will be awarded with a parking violation for violating my ears. That's going to be tonight's rating system. Our first track of the night is going to be To Freedom Interlude by Nightmares on Wax, featuring beautiful people once again. Let's give it a shot. This is a big America track, I can already tell. Freedom, baby. Freedom. Alright, interesting transition into the next track. I'm going to give that track, let me get my gong, a tentative, nice set of playing cards. It's just an interlude. I really have nothing to say on it, other than it didn't really break up the flow of the album, and it's all about freedom, which is always a positive. Alright, next up we will be moving on to Wonder, featuring Hail Supreme and Shabaka Hutchings. Let me give it a shot. 6.5 minute track here. So, it's already gorgeous. No fucking way. That's fire. This is beautiful. Holy shit, dude. This album's just really hit its stride. So, in case you missed the last video, we're coming off two really fucking good tracks. So, going right into that interlude and then coming into this is fucking awesome. I'm loving this so far. We're about a minute in, so we'll see where it goes. Whatever sax that is or something, that shit goes hard. It sounds really nice.
It's making me float, dude. I love this.
We was smoking just American children's giants, just blowing, just huffing huge amounts of marijuana into our...
So good. I am wondering where it's going to go, though. We're kind of getting the same thing for at least half the track, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go from here. I'm swimming through this shit right now. Sounds hard as fuck. I really like this little instrumental segment. Sounds really nice. That was fucking awesome. That was a great track. Alright, let me find my Spotify. Alright, guys. Let's see what that's gonna get. Though I think you could probably guess. Playing cards, baby. No doubt about it. That shit was fire. Blew me away, really. It was just dreamy. Really just took me and ran with me. That shit ran with me. I loved it. Loved every second of it. Just made me ascend. Just made me ascend. I just, whew, that shit was beautiful. That track was great. Really great. We're gonna move on to the next one. It's called Own Me. It's featuring Hail Supreme. We'll see what it's about. Alright, this one's already a little more soul, just a little more, it's interesting. It's different from what we've heard.
Change my mind, you could never own what's right.
This is already sounding like one of my favorites. This sounds really, really nice. It's just got a great atmosphere to it, really. And catchy for sure. It's 3.5 minutes, and I'm wondering how they're gonna go with this.
That's the way the story goes.
This album's impressing the fuck out of me, man. Just this whole thing front to back, I don't think it's had a miss yet. I mean, a couple interludes, but Jesus, it's so consistent. Knock on wood, I mean. Yeah, this hook is so fire. Alright, we're coming to an end of this track. Very consistent track. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, actually, looking back, just because it didn't really go anywhere. It had a really nice starting concept, but it just kind of stuck with that concept throughout. Still really good. I really like the chorus, but I don't know. I just can't call it one of my favorites. I think that one. That track I'm actually going to give it Captain America. I really did like it at first, and I thought it was going to be one of my favorites. But the more the track progressed, I just kept on thinking that it wasn't really going anywhere, and that honestly, I couldn't see. It needed something else. Like, it just kind of had this hook that came in at a few different places, and just a really nice beat, which is fine, and that's why it's not a parking ticket, of course. But it's not quite up to the standard of what a lot of these tracks happen, which has been that they've had these crazy switches, these big moments like solos, and honestly that track just felt a little bit drab, but still a great track, and it kept the momentum of the album going. So it's gonna be a tentative Captain America to maybe a light playing. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one. This one is a instrumental track. It's called Widya Bad. It's 1 minute and 54 seconds, so pretty short. We're gonna give it a go. I love how that came in. Love it. Alright, so it's not all instrumental. We do have like some vocals, but they're very much a part of the song. Okay, I would say it was sort of filler, but pretty good. Pretty good stuff. That track is gonna get another Captain America. I think that absolutely not. I actually thought it was pretty good. Just in terms of replay value, I don't think I could ever see myself really coming back to that track. It was just kind of filler. It was smooth and it was there in the background, but I honestly forgot I was listening to it at a point. Like, it's so short and it's really just so unassuming that you can't really pick it out of a lineup. So at the end of the day, I don't think it was the best track on here. I'm gonna give it a Captain America, which I know it's a hot take. I know it's a hot take, guys. Like, some of the stuff, that's just how it is. I really do think the bar is set very high on this album. So things that don't quite reach that bar, I'm gonna have to give, the Captain America. This is America. Alright, moving on, we're gonna go to, it's called Isolated. It has a couple features, Pip Millet and Sabrina Mahfouz. I like that name. I don't know why I said that. Slow start.
I just want to
But what's it going to break into is the question. Not super exciting, but yeah, it's pretty smooth. I like that. I was kind of expecting a bigger break-in, but definitely a great voice.
I don't want to break up with you.
This album's interesting because I feel like it lacks a lot of big moments. Like, it's very understated and low-key most of the time. But it works most of the time. Like, this track definitely works. Yeah, the only problem I really see is that with a lot of these tracks, they start out with an idea and they just kind of stay with that idea for most of the time. It's kind of been the case for a lot of these tracks. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's like borderline boring. Like, I get what he's going for, but it's borderline boring. Alright, so we get a little solemn outro. We're in our bag. And then we went creepy. Creepy and British. Alright, we're getting to an end of this track. I gotta say, this is honestly one of my least favorites. I just thought it was repetitive and a little boring. And especially coming as the 13th track on this album, I don't know, I just didn't really have time for it. I don't even know what she's saying. She's talking about origami. Which is tight, but like, why is it on the album? Alright, this is tough because I'm teetering between two rankings for this one. I feel like one would be a little too harsh. So, I don't know. I think, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to pull out the parking violation.
Stop!
Yeah,
You violated the law.
It's a tough call to make, but I do think this one was the parking violation of the album. Sorry, sometimes we get ads when we play the game. Just because it was just boring. It was just really boring, and I honestly didn't get much out of it. Not much more I can say. I think I pretty much said it all during that track because I had plenty of fucking time to say things. It was just fucking boring. So even though one of the more streamed tracks on the album, yeah, not one of my favorites. Alright, moving on. We got final two tracks on the album. We got Trillion featuring Mara TK. We're gonna give it a go. Alright, we got Synths. They're dancing. This is great. I'm very interested to see where this one goes. We haven't heard anything like this on the album. Nothing this dark. Most of it's been pretty upbeat. That was probably the most boring place you could have taken this beat. Right, but I'm not going to call it too early. We're going to give it a chance. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not really loving it right now. Alright, here's what we're thinking so far. This track is really, truly a...
We don't know what's happening.
We don't know what's happening. I mean, you got these synths coming in that give this really dark vibe, and then the vocalist sounds like he's doing this falsetto shit that just, it doesn't sound good. I don't know what he's doing, and it just doesn't come together. I don't really get it. I don't get the point of this track. It is synth porn. The beat is great. The synths are, I could jerk off to these synths. And honestly, I'm kind of getting a little sick of this track. I mean, at this point in the track, we're kind of starting to...
The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
This is the emails right here. I think we're getting a little sick and tired of it. I'm not really feeling the burn on this one. It's just boring too. Like, once again, I'm not interested in this track. This album has a super strong middle leg, but I feel like this back end is kind of losing me a little bit. Alright, that was Trillion. Alright, so, let's get the gong. I'm going to be giving that track a parking violation. I think
Stop!
It violated my ears on
You
this one.
violated the law.
I feel personally attacked that was on the album. It was not very good. The synths were great. The vocals were not. They did not fit the synths. I just don't think it came together. I think it was a miss. Big miss. But we're on to better things, bigger and better things. We're back with one of the most consistent features on the album, Hail Supreme. If that's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's who's on the next track. It's called Up to Us, and we're going to give it a go. for sure. It's all about self-realization. I just want to preach for a minute. That shit is very important. I think this guy is definitely speaking to that. And he sounds fucking good. This is definitely a step back up in quality. It's this feature. Whoever this is fucking killing this album. They're really doing well. Now my complaint is that it's not very exciting. I don't really think much is going on this track, but it's not as bad as the others. I think the last couple is a step up from the last couple, but it's still a step down in terms of the overall album's quality. I mean, it's a chill track. It's pretty harmless at the end of the day. I think it's a good album ender, but definitely could be a little more exciting. I do like this hook. It's catchy. It's an earworm. This is a nice build-up, actually, because it came to a good ending. I'm very happy with where we ended off. Very gnarly. Alright. So we ended pretty strong. I think this was a good ending to the album. It was something that was missing in a lot of the other tracks, where it actually had an ending idea, a start and an end. You know, there was a full progression in that track. Alright, let's see what I give it. I'm going to give this track a Golding set of playing cards. It's going to be our another highly rated track in this album. Many reasons. I thought that track had at first, you know, it was going on for a little bit too long with kind of the same vibe, but then in the end we got something new. We switched it up a little bit, and you know, that's the gong, the judgment gong, and yeah, I think that was a good way to end it. Yeah, very good way to end it. Golden playing cards. Alright, so running back through this track list, Imagineering gets an 8, Creator SOS gets an 8, 3D Warrior gets a 7, Miami 80 gets a 9, Wicked Satellites gets a 9, Breathe In gets a 9, Wonder gets a 9, then we kind of trail off in the back end. Own Me gets a 7, With Ya Bad gets a 7, Isolated gets a 6, Trillion gets a 5, and Up To Us, the last track, gets an 8. So, overall, this is going to bring us to a grand total score of 7.6. I'm just going to put it at pretty good, not perfect. And overall, that is going to put it in... God, it's got to be better than Certified Lover Boy. I don't think I can put it right there. Alright, it's going to be in 33rd overall on the year. So, let's see. Alright, guys. There it is. Shout out to Freedom, Nightmares on Wax. 33rd on the year. Above Certified Lover Boy, below The Melodic Blue. The top 5 this year are Fatigue by Lorraine, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Bo Jackson, A Tiny House and Secret Speeches, Polar Equals, and Sometimes I Might Be an Introvert. That's our top 5 for the year. But this is landing in 33rd respectively. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say tonight, guys. Let's close it out.
I'm really rich.
I'm really rich. That's it. Have a great night, everyone.
I'm really rich.